InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. Today just may be a sensitive day. Feelings are kind of all over the place, feeling into the future, into the past, even feeling into the moment, into the now. So what technique to do, right? So generally, I like to place my feelings in a boundary bubble, if you will, a sphere. It's like being at one of those play parks. You get, those bouncy ball arena things, if you know what I'm talking about. You could even create a color sphere if you want. But more importantly, it's always great to validate them before releasing them, honor them, and realize them. So welcome to a Wednesday channel of wisdom. It's the daily snippet, and once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shamedium, a subtle energetic surgeon. My thing is to really merge the indigenous technologies, the spirit of the Dagara tribe in Burkina Faso, with the subtle energies, elements, elemental beings. Basically, for me, it's the elemental realm into the imaginal realm with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to really add to the juice of our personal container. So, again, my intention to merge these indigenous technologies with the subtle realms, the etheric highway, to really assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, the light that resides within you, just reintroducing you to the magical being that really is there. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. If you are new to my show, and if you haven't already, please be kind and do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tanya D. Hit the bell button so you are notified. And also, if you don't mind, like the video so the YouTube algorithm can echo it out and suggest me to like-minded galactic musers. But the goddess herself, the moon, is actually in the season of Gemini, just filtering through our feelings. Our thoughts and feelings are filtering through. So stay tuned into your heart as your mind is filtering those emotions. You actually might want to chat it up a little bit, however. Chat about how you feel, why you feel this way to yourself or to another. Feelings really need to be validated without judgment. Pretty much like all the things, right? But we are really in this cosmic swirl, if you will. I would really affirm the positive, the gratitude for all of the experiences, and literally stay curious above all. We have the Sacral and the Shamans portal online energetically, the subtle portals, I guess, or the subtle swirls. But the moon and Pluto are really in conversation or collaborating. So the moon being our emotional center or the center of our emotions, and Pluto being really our power center. She's destroying and she is rebuilding. It's like Hades to the depths of hell and returning in Capricorn. So possibly the authority figures are coming together to have an intellectual conversation through their heart, filling the threads of humanity, really, Aquarius. Just saying, we're kind of in it. But the messages of the day, the oracles, I went with the Mystic Oracles, my shaman deck. Gotta move a few things, sorry about that. Uh-oh. Updating system audio. Why does it say that? Something's happening. What's going on? Not what I want to do. Cancel. That was strange. Ugh. Something's happening here. Not sure. Let's see. Where's my camera? Oh, good hells bells. Got too many buttons going on. But the Mystic Oracle, my deck cards here. There we are, the ancient ones, the mystical ancient ones. So this morning, you can see got my smoke going. I have a situation in my backyard. I have a high-rise condo thing going in, and I can't go live till later. It's really kind of rattling my cages emotionally, physically, probably mentally, and jacking up my spirit space. But anyway, so I decided to get some stuff going on to clear my air, and just for fun, I'm drinking lemon water in the wine glass just because that adds to the sauce. However, The first card up for the day in the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, now that I've jacked up a few things. Here we go. So another reason I can't go live until later because they're rattling my entire house. But the Mystical Oracle Shaman, the ancient ones, if you will, we all have these. We have to start the energy of the day, literally. The ancient ones, what are they? So these are literally coming in from the southern direction. The old wound that needs to be shed, if you will. It kind of sounds like Pluto energy, the ancient ones who are the shamans of the old, defeated death in their escape from tyranny, the tyranny of time. They once walked the earth like us in the flesh and in the bone, and they now reside in the infinity. They're a council, and they literally counsel us, the council of the other world. They counsel us when we say yes to our calling, our prime directive, our inner genius, and they're available to assist us to attain this realization in its fullest expression. But they really are petitioning us to examine our attitudes and our actions, and just to be sure that we are in the highest of integrity. So not forgiving an ancestor or ourself is keeping us really from the freedom that we seek. So just remember, this is no longer really our karma or our dharma. It can break the chain that once bound us to our family drama, and just freeing us from those generational curses, if you will, and forgiving the ones that we truly need to release, and also honoring our biological ancestors by lighting a candle to them. This definitely is a Pluto Capricorn kind of message, just uprising from the old tyranny, shedding the skin, the old that really isn't fitting our infrastructure. Actually, that's kind of the message with that card. And then we have, let's see here, the crow, which this reminds me of a girlfriend, my 4 crows. But this is heading in from the west, the thread lines for the last few days, I should say. The part of us that really needs to let go, to shed the skin, the old story, so we can literally open the door, the gateway to a new story. And the crows, they are the keepers of the universal galactic law, the law of the truth, just teaching us to walk our talk and talk our walk, to be in congruence with who we say and what we do and who we really know our inner heart self to be. But this winged one really insists that we speak our truth. It kind of resonates to Vishuddha, our throat center, so we can create spiritual truths instead of literally searching for them. That we bring truth to every situations that we find within ourselves. So when we speak our truth and we practice our truth, eventually everything we say becomes true. It's our authentic truth, our power to co-create. It's the truth of kind of universal law. So just correcting in our biorhythms, if you will, an untrue aspect or a truth in our lives, whatever that is, without judgment. And literally, that saying, the truth will set you free. So the message is really to let go of the untruths, be forgiving of ourselves in all ways, if that makes sense. And then we have lightning, which I have pulled lightning before. I love lightning, and who really doesn't love a juicy lightning storm? I think it's all perspective, right? I say that now, and then comes in a very young lightning storm. Lightning is really magical. It's mystical. It's kind of like the gods are vying for our attention. It's electrical. It strikes the earth, but sometimes I sense that it comes from the earth and streams out to the sky. And being that it is otherworldly today, meaning that it's reversed, that just might be the case. So it's illuminating the earth and sending that energy, the message to the sky, opening up our otherworldly vision centers, our psyche for our soul, our spirit, our mind, and all the acumens in between. But being that this is in the northern position, at least in these messages, I should probably do a center pole as well, the heavens to the earth, but I'm kind of playing with that idea, just kind of floated in there. But the north is the wisdom that we need. It's our ancient wisdom sometimes, or the wisdom that we already have from the lessons that we've already kind of proceeded through, the lessons of the south and the west, being that side of my house, or that side of my house. But it's the message to really open the door, or at least answer the call to our prime directive, our inner genius. What are the gifts that are seated deep within you, in your essence? And just knowing that life has truly gifted us with a purpose, a gift, and a purpose. That really was the message in and through why I jumped into doing cowrie shell divinations, to express the gift and the purpose. A destiny that we're all born into. We're being fated into that right now. It's the alignment and being passionate and in our soul's harmonic, right? The beacon of who we are, with all the essence of the earth plane gravitating here. So it really is a message to wake up, to accept our destiny. It's kind of a jolt of a wake-up call, if you will. So it's kind of like starting the initiation to release what is in the way of us fulfilling our purpose. Otherwise, we end up being bound to karmic fate. So we are literally upcycling. So be daring and really see yourself walking across the waters of the sea. We are in a karmic fate. It's another story, right? However that appears. Oh boy, and I can hear them in the background. Hopefully they won't echo again. And then we have, here we go, the Holy Mountain. The indigenous people actually recognize mountains as a very sacred space to call on the mountain spirits, encounter those spirits, all of the elemental spirits, even the animals, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the winged ones, even the slithery ones, plant and animal, and just really all of nature, the spirits of the Holy Mountain and what lives there, what resides in the Holy Mountain. So it's this space and this place of spirit where not just the gods and the goddesses resides, it's the spirits of it all, whether it's prosperity, a star, a light, fire, any elemental really. It's the home of those gods and those goddesses. So we're invited to really go on a sacred journey, go to the mountain, get a new vision, the Holy Mountain, otherworldly perspective, like seeing things through the spirit, the eye of spirit, or the tiger, since we're in the tiger year, but just accepting the present, the situation that we're in, as an opportunity to discover a higher standing or an understanding, right? First, and then really creating or finding a sacred altar out in the Holy Mountains spirit, where you could possibly go to and have an invocation or a conversation with the mountain, find your inner wisdom, and just literally make an offering there, do a ritual there, make a commitment to walk with courage, love, compassion, peace, and joy, reconciling, right? Until we see the clarity, the perfection, if at all. And I'm not sure if you noticed, actually, it's hard to see, but the cards today, in the corners of the cards, they actually have numbers. I don't know if you can see that, but the numbers of the cards, so I find that curious. But in the corners of the cards, there's these numbers, and we started with number 1. Number 1 is the sun, it's the heart, if you will. And then we had 12, which is the 1 and the 2. So that's the sun, the heart, and the moon, our emotions, creates a 3, which is our beliefs. And we had a 30 on the next card. So that's the boundary around our beliefs. And boundaries are sometimes unseen. And 3 is Jupiter. So we also have the Holy Mountain, a 25, which is our mind and our emotions. And being that the moon is in Gemini, the mind and the emotions, the season of the mind, Gemini. So it's like being mindful of our feelings. And then when we're mindful of our feelings, or we're filling into being mindful, we have a 7, which takes us to the mountaintop of heaven, which is super insightful, the spirit center. And with Jupiter being in Pisces, it's expanding our learning, our philosophies, our spiritual beliefs. So there's some interesting insight there. Just a thought I would go there with my little fractals. But on the elemental highway, what do we have on the elementals? Which I also find curious. We have this Yin Water Snake of a day. But our little day masters it's the only yin element in the whole thing. The month, the year, the day, they're all yang energy. Yang is our outer world. It's our lifestyle, where yin is our inner constitution. And yin water, being born again in a tiger month, I talked about this yesterday, that represents the beginning of spring, when the wood element, nature, is truly getting stronger. Nature is bursting out. And knowing that wood, it's strong during the season and the month of the tiger, that makes the element of metal weak. So our day master, being yin water, actually lacks the support. So yin metal is support for yin water. So it makes it weak. And our yin metal is actually the energy that's mostly needed in order to produce more water and counter affect all that wood element energy. So the yang fire that you can see in the month and the year in the stems, that regulates the metal. So it's kind of excessive, but it also brings a lot of warmth to the chart of the day as well, which is still chilly actually, because we're just kind of leaving the winter season. But the yang metal can also be used to produce water, to strengthen our day, which is the main element, yin water, if you will. So any additional water elements are really useful actually for the day. And yin fire can't really be excessive because it's going to make also the metal, which we don't have, and it's very much needed, even more weak. So the earth element is excessive. That's going to cripple the yin water as well due to its weak condition. So there's also no need for additional wood, obviously, because it's really strong during the tiger month and this year. So this nature element of the water tiger, the year, is actually going to be like really the main energy of 2022, that bursting through energy, right? So it just depends on how it plays out with the other elementals. But wet earth would be great. And of course, metal and fire. Sorry, I thought I saw the peeps in the backyard there. But yeah, metal and fire. So also, just so you know, excessive wood is actually draining the weak water. And it also has no support for the growth. So metal might help here to control this excessive wood energy and support our day, because the wood element is really unstable. Its roots have no grasp because the earth is exhausted. So there's this combination of earth and water that's needed to really bring balance to our day, creating wet earth. So our metal energy is in storage in the snake. So our wood is literally, it's out of control. It's just unable to control or use the energy of wood. And I'm always talking about energy in the elemental realm. But the metal element can also be damaged while the wood remains uncontrolled. So it's not very useful at all. So the element of metal really needs to be stimulated to bring balance to our day. And being that wet earth is useful as an elemental because it can actually produce metal and exhaust the energy of the wood. So this chart really is too hot. So water and metal elements are more likely, they're going to be dysfunctional and they're not going to have as much power. So water and metal really need to be stimulated in a way to bring balance, the yin water. And of course, the earth herself, that's diminished by the excess wood. It's breaking it down. So more earth is also needed to counteract and create balance with all that nature energy, all that wood. And fire is excessive due to it being hidden in the stem of the tiger month and also the tiger year. So we have this influence for a while. So elementally, if the element I would ground into or utilize today would be metal, mineral, air, communication with spirit. I hope all of that makes sense. But the snake on the day, the snake needs to bond, to be one with their mate. They really need a lover who's going to give them the reassurance that everything is juicy in the relationship so they will stay. They need to feel significant and just know that their partner values them above all the others. So they frequently will test relationships to see how much the other will take, to kind of know where their boundaries are, if you will. The wise mate, though, will recognize this and just allow them to test those waters, allowing them to show them where that line is, that fine line, without tearing apart the relationship. So then the two can actually live quite together happily within that frequency. But herbs that are great, beech is great. It's critical actually for snakes because snakes become critical. You know, they become kind of enchanting. I keep seeing a cobra for some reason versus a rattlesnake, but this might be a cobra, right? A water snake. Yeah, a water snake, somebody who lives in the water. But snakes, you know, they kind of analyze and obsess over things and issues in a way, and hindsight and the frequency. So just people who need to be right. It's like the stiff neck or the shoulders. Those are a result of being uptight, an uptight snake, like a cobra, you know, getting uptight. Red chestnut or white chestnut, either one is great for anxiety. Also roosters, if you have roosters, it's great for them. But the essence really is great for just caring for others and having a more detached attitude And also, if you have like mental muddle, brain chatter, that seems impossible to stop. You can't get out of the mental mind. To assist us in concentration, the spleen pathway, that's the snake's pathway. That's dealing with concentration and memorization, not memory, but memorizing. So it actually helps us to live and be in the present moment. And as far as essential oils, those are actually the same as they were yesterday. The dragon and the snake kind of have the same elemental essential oils. So you could tune into yesterday's show where I mused about them. Sandalwood, for one of my favorites, bergamot. But the snake's energy wants to be perfect, while the dragon wants to be content and fulfilled. So what's curious is dragons need a mantra like, I am confident. And since we are in the tiger month and a tiger year, that's like tigers want to be recognized. So that's kind of the frequency of the year. So people are going to be like, they want to be recognized. So we got two sides of the same. And being held in space yesterday for the platform that we're taking things a notch higher in the world, we are really going to go down the river into some threads, these future threads, just exploring the galactic future, what that could look like, innovating it, and filling these thread lines and analyzing them. The heart, though, being our prime directive, our inner genius. So our feelings really are the barometer for the rest of the season of Aquarius. And feelings, too, they can twist, they can block us, they can even negate us. Feelings are water, right? And we got a lot of that. So really, if you think about water as an element, it can actually topple us over or float us up so high into the clouds as well, right? So it's feelings from the past, feelings for the day, and what we want to feel into the future. Those are going to be like bubbling to the surface, like a bubbling spring, if you will, especially if you've been holding them under the rug or tried to hide them, or you don't want to feel them. So if something's been upsetting you, threatening you, that's probably going to come down the line, down those streams. So just really give whatever feeling comes in a hug. Burn some incense if you need to. You're doing great, right? Forgiveness. We all need forgiveness for the self and also for the others. And really give yourself a galactic juicy hug. My motto for a while now is like, we're doing great. And that and my intention to wake up to my highest timeline, or to awaken to that timeline as well, first thing in the morning. So really keep your feelings safe, away from the outside influencers. Again, that's why I did the incense, because my neighborhood is rattling the cages, and that's also why I don't go live until later in the day. So this might create emotional chaos within your foundation, your emotional foundation. So really feel through the things and protect your own essence, spear them through, and flow into a future space. And really, meditation is a great way to have a conversation with our feelings. And also, we get the sensation from our prime directive where it's comforting ourselves, our comforters, and just having a sense of safety within. It's okay to feel, one way or to feel another way, and find the why in the emotional field as well. So emotions really are magical in their essence. The sound would be the S of the metal element. And I would literally still light a candle or burn some incense for your ancestors, the ancient wisdom, your genetic blueprint, if you will, your divine blueprint. I'll connect with them. I would do a white candle, however, being metal, but the seed sounds, the crown, the light of Uriel, the sacral. And also I realized that yesterday was the Earth star, not the sacral, so I apologize about that. You should have been grounding into the Earth star herself, the elementals, to manifest. But, it'll be okay. But today, bring in the emotional channel, the sphere of our galactic emotions that can do really a variety of otherworldly things. Emotions carry a lot of frequency. A tidal wave, a creek, a bubbling spring. We have fierce waters of the ocean, a hurricane, or a tornado, I guess. No, hurricane. Connected to the winds. Either way, they're both connected to the winds. One's on the earth, one's on the water. Still elemental, different frequencies is all. There's really a lot of magic force in water as well, right? The galactic springs. There's just a lot if you think about water. But the colors that soothe the waters, because it's in the Gemini season, we could also bring in the solar plexus if we wanted to simmer down our thoughts, our crown on the way down to the sacral, our peace channel, if you will, reconciling our emotional threads, getting clarity in how we feel. So it's the vom. You could tone the sound vom, or the water sound, the sound of water actually, like blowing out a candle, if you will. So it's like, how do you feel the universe really wants you to feel? You know, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting through all of this. And in closing, forgiveness is really one of the threads for self and for the other, our heart's forgiveness. So just a place, you know, place all those lower emotions on the heavenly altar and allow source to separate them, and just know that you're really connected to all of the other realms and stay that way. And, you know, the beings that are there to assist us within the ancestral realm, the spirits of it all, the angelic, even a star being for that matter. They all seem alien sometimes, and we probably seem alien to them as well. Just kidding. So use your feelings to break on through to the other side of feeling, really. I am feeling sad about the chaos in my village, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to myself get the courage and speak up. It's kind of like that, instead of sitting there and letting it eat at my stomach every day when they're rattling my freaking house. But anyway, yeah, stay optimistic, stay positive. It's a duty, right? Sometimes. But I would affirm that I am waving goodbye, literally waving. I don't know if you can see my thing. Oh, go slower. Waving goodbye to the feelings that no longer serve me up. And I'm going to upcycle the feelings that do. So thanks for tuning in today. Sorry about all the chaos. I apologize. But the immersion of Voices for the Other World is on. And Saturday, it really is all about water. Physical, mental, emotional, and the spirit of water, and connecting with a being that is of a water spirit. So be sure to subscribe to my musing newsletter as well to receive in your inbox. I literally just finished my Leo snow moon meditation. I just finished recording that. So we are really preparing ourselves for one amazing cycle in 2022. Just really setting our stage, our altar. Spirit truly is online through this season and into waving into the summer, I should say. So with all of that, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Be in the light of love. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Blessings to you.